stick to the schedule that we have given ourselves, and thankfully, thank God we've been able to keep up with that schedule, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of schedule, ladies and gentlemen, I just had to get up to verify the video and audio since the production team is all over it. Figured out some new things, right? We got some things taken care of.
absolutely.
So yeah, you will see me getting up occasionally and checking some things and going and checking the servers and whatnot.
So we're coming off fresh of the Tim McCosker interview, which was a 2-part interview that we did.
Yes.
With Tim, that's running for city councilman for District 15.
That's right.
Me and David are more than happy that he was able to bless us with his appearance, and that we were able to share our platform with him.
Yeah.
So that he can introduce himself to some additional people that might be interested in getting involved and getting out there and voting for him.
Yeah.
The next month or so.
No, absolutely. We encourage everyone to get out there and vote. Tim's a great guy. I'm not really a whole lot into politics. I did my research on this guy and went back and saw a few things, looked at what policies he's for and law. I mean, the guy is a well-rounded guy, and I just think that he's right.
Yeah.
Give him a fair chance. I think he's going to do well. He's a wholesome guy. I mean, just listening to his background and his story was just wonderful, and I am going to vote for him.
Yeah, more than anything, I was happy that we were able to project what we wanted to project. We told him from the beginning. Remember, he asked us if he should come in with any bullet points or anything like that. His daughter asked us the same thing, and I told her no. The only thing we want to do is just platform and get to know the man and not the politician.
No, of course, yeah.
And I think we got to segue nicely between getting his political stance and his upbringing. We got into his family life, and we got into his his ambitions and what he plans on doing if he gets this chance to be chosen by us to be a councilman for District 15. So. Very happy that we were able to do that for him, and again, we're very thankful for the opportunity. So
and we might get a Nobu in Wilmington.
Yeah, we might get a Nobu in Wilmington. Keep your fingers crossed.
Nobu.
Yeah, Dave. Anything new, buddy? Anything new going on?
My feet are black.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
I know. Look, it's picking stuff out here. I don't know
that's gross, bro.
Well, it's my feet.
Come on, bro.
It's my feet.
Come on.
Jesus, whatever.
Let's stick to the agenda here.
All right. You know what?
Looking forward to your kid's birthday party coming up, right?
Yeah. Logan's gonna
Saturday.
be 9. Yeah.
Right.
You better go.
Yeah, we're gonna be there, bro.
So,
we're gonna be there.
Yeah, he's gonna be 9 years old, so we've been planning. Not so little brother doesn't feel left out. He's helping me decorate and surprise, things for Logan when he's asleep. So
right.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's not that hot.
Yeah.
Thank God. It's like not triple digits, but looking forward to all the food.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that because I know it's gonna be in Riverside, right?
DTR.
So yeah, it gets a little fucking hotter over there than it does here. So I wasn't thrilled about that, but I'm glad the weather's persisted a little bit.
I'll eat in any weather.
Yeah.
So you know. So
yeah, man. So anyways, man, we're gonna get right into this one.
Let's do it.
We're gonna label this one person non grata.
Huh?
Person non grata.
Person non grata.
Yeah, that's Latin.
Okay.
For person not wanted.
Person.
I was joking with you the other day that I, kind of got into a conversation with my mom. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And we got into a couple things, and I addressed some things with her, and I've just learned over this process, bro, of trying to evolve and trying to set healthy boundaries for myself. That it's not beneficial for me to hold things in when I feel like I need something to when I have something to address. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's like if you avoid conflict and you avoid saying certain things to avoid conflict with somebody, you start conflict within yourself.
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, it does make sense.
And so, some things happened, and an opportunity for me to get into discussion with, my mom occurred, it surfaced. So, we got into a couple things, that I deemed wrong. I've always kind of had an affinity for certain things where I don't like when people do things or cover things up or bat the blind eye to something for appearance sake.
Okay.
And so that was kind of what led to the conversation that I had with her. I mentioned it to a couple close people that are, close friends of mine, and some people thought I handled it the right way. I know that was, you were among those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's just, you. I mean, only you know. I mean, yeah, you are going to feel some indifference, and you're going to feel a certain way about it, or a certain way things of the way it came off, or what type of things you said. But overall, I think you're the best one. You're the best person to know how you can handle that particular situation. You deal with everyone here on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whether it's probably a little harsh to some people, it's, that harshness is sometimes necessary.
Yeah. So yeah, I addressed some things. Like I said, I'm not going to get into exactly what it was that led to that, or why we got into a conversation. But I just, I did vocalize that I thought it was a little hypocritical for us as a family. You know what I mean? And I included myself in there because I'm sure I've been guilty of it at some point too. To do things for appearance sake. I think
that goes a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think it's better to address things that are going on, not bat the blind eye to it, whether it's personal, whether it's something that's going on in the house that affects everybody that lives here. I just think it's just creates for a better environment to, all live in, and so anyways, we got into that. I mentioned it to other people, and I told them how that conversation went down.
Mm-hmm.
They thought I could have, been a little bit more eloquent and chose my words a little better, I guess in hindsight, it might have come off a little
douchey.
A little, not douchey,
Okay.
but a little direct, you know what I mean? A little firm, But, it just goes to show that there was still part of me that's not completely healed, and, some of that childhood trauma, reared its ugly head, and, that's what this thing is, bro. This healing journey, it's a dance. It's a lot of back and forth. You know what I mean?
I think you notice and realize a lot of things that you don't want to put a lot of energy into, but it's here, it's in front of you, and just to not say anything about it is who you're becoming, and it's a very, very fine line when it comes to family. Like you said, it creates a better environment.
Yeah.
So, instead of just walking by silence or, everybody's feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
You guys can sit down and talk about it and say, yeah, you know what, I agree with this, or I don't, or whatever it is. I mean, it just opens up, you connect, you engage. I mean, nobody wants to live in the same house and not interact with each other and act like everything's okay. Jesus.
And, the older I get, the more I realize that, my parents did their very best raising me with whatever knowledge they possessed, and, whatever parenting skills they were able to, whatever experience as a parent they were able to get with me and, my older sister. But the dynamic's funny, especially now that they're older, and I'm kind of like a, caregiver to them, it's like, when people get older, they tend to regress back into childish behavior. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get like that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all going to get there eventually, But, you get a little difficult, you get a little stuck in your ways. Once you get to a certain age, especially once you slide into 80, man, it's going to be pretty damn hard to change, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's going to be bad for me.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of the things I do with my art, or I gotta have my messy corner. I gotta have stuff that just, look, 90% of the shit I do doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But hey, if you have to explain it, it is an art.
Exactly.
There's a process to everything. I mean, it's, it's just the way it is. But damn, that's gonna be hell when I get older.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, bro, it was one of those things where I just, I decided, for the first time not to hold my words, and, things came out the way they came out, and, we're good, we're good, but I know it was kind of weird for like a day or two,
Yeah.
And it's a fine line to cross, bro, because listen, I have respect for my parents, I'm thankful that, they gave me a good, they raised me well, and, as far as parenting and, trying to make me a man, they did as best as they could,
Yeah.
But I do realize that they're still dealing with some of their undealt childhood trauma themselves. And so that's why some of these things sometimes persist in family. It's generational curses, you know.
Yeah. There's folders of issues that everyone has and either doesn't have the time to deal with them or just simply doesn't want to.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I'm guilty of it. I've been guilty of it, and
Yeah.
and now that I look back, I realize like it made me a pretty angry person.
Yeah.
Not pleasant, regardless of what was going on, whether it was good or whether it was bad. It still it added to that. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I think it's important because I think that everybody in every family, there's somebody that's sent to that family that's meant to break a lot of the generational curses that we carry. Some people, like I said, don't want to realize that there's stuff going on at the house that, you know what I mean? Sometimes we don't want to address, and it's better that, we just ignore things. But when we ignore things just seem to get bigger and spin out of control eventually. So
like the dragon in the children's book.
The dragon in the children's book, yeah. I think it was like episode 3 when we did that, remember?
Yeah, I remember. Excuse me while I sip my coffee.
Absolutely. But that I came across something that I wanted to share with everybody here.
All right.
This is something from Jen Peters, Soul Guide Healer.
Okay.
Something I pulled off the internet, but it was just very interesting to me, and it spoke to me. And then when we discussed about what we're going to talk about today, I was like, yeah, I'm going to pull this out and, use it as an antidote just to kind of break down a little bit better what I'm trying to express with this episode that we're doing. It says, signs you're the cycle breaker in your family, okay? You feel like the black sheep of the family. Boom.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. That's always been me. You know what I mean?
Same here.
That's always been me. And, just because I think people think we're the black sheep because we're very unorthodox. We didn't follow suit like most of the family did, And we're free thinkers.
Yeah.
We're free thinkers, you know what I mean? We're people that question things, you know what I mean? And that's always going to be me, and that's always been me, I mean, I remember I used to, even as a kid, bro, I used to ask my mom, she's always been super religious. She used to tell me, like, yeah, God created this, and he created the world, and he created the ocean and the animals. And I'm like, okay. I said, I got a question for you. She was like, what? I'm like, if he created everything, how long did he wait to create it? And she was like, well, you don't ask that. And I'm like, well, I think that's a valid question.
You don't ask that.
Yeah, you don't ask that.
How dare you? Come here, you.
But yeah, bro, I've always had that, I've been intuitive like that, It's like, okay, I want to know how things work, and I want to, I'm just not going to buy into whatever you tell me,
Damn, you really asked your mom that?
Yeah, I think I was like 6 years old when I asked her that. And she was never really able to give me an answer. And not until maybe about 4 or 5 years ago did I figure it out on my own.
Oh, and where did he wait?
Huh?
How long did he wait?
You don't ask that.
Ah.
Bro, I mean, to me, God is not a noun. He's the he's the force of life on everything. Me, you, our pets, our nature, the oceans, the sky, the sea, all of that. All of that. He's the reason that you don't have to worry about breathing. It just automatically happens. He's the reason that you don't have to worry about growing your hair out. It just automatically happens. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that we just take for granted that we have no idea how they happen. But yet they happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
He's the reason that a spider knows how to spin a web, and a lion knows how to hunt a gazelle. And it's just, what is that? Who taught him that? Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what it is to me now. I got a little different concept about it. It's not a man in the sky with
long hair,
long beard, and it's nothing like that. It's I see him in everything, but that's just a different perspective that I've arrived at because I've gone a little deeper in the spirituality realm, and it just makes a lot more sense to me. Like at the end of the day, I figure whatever makes sense to me, it's my journey. It makes sense to me, then that's what I'm gonna stick to, right?
Yeah.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, who's to say otherwise?
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't think there's no right or wrong. Look, I mean, I'm just gonna make this really short, but the one thing when I was going to church, I've always questioned is they talked about this one chapter. I don't remember what it was. I'm really bad at that.
Yeah.
But they talked about what heaven looked like what it exactly looked like the walls, the stairs, and the rooms, and everyone they saw. This is crazy. I was like, how in the hell do you guys know what it looks like? Like, I want to see a drawing or explain it to me. I want to paint that one day. Like, I really want to know. That's insane. That's crazy. Like, how do you know what it looks like? Who wrote that?
Yeah. The only people that know what heaven looks like are the people that are already gone.
Yeah.
And so nobody here can actually convince you of that because they've never died. How would they know?
Well, some guy standing at the podium was very confident.
Oh yeah.
What it was, and I almost believed it. But
yeah. Well, listen, it's okay to take information in.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean. But you gotta, at the end of the day, it's your salvation. You gotta make sure that you seek these things out a little bit further than most people do. I think it's important. You know.
Yeah.
Let me get back to this little list here, bro, which I think is just extraordinary, bro. You connect with, talk about emotional pain you carry.
Wait,
You know,
say it again.
you connect with and talk about the emotional pain you carry.
Mm.
You know, that was something that also came out in that discussion that I had, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I made myself vocal and expressed how I just, you know what I mean? It's something that I felt that as a family we've done for years, you know?
Yeah.
There's stuff that's been needed to be addressed, and I don't think that we've really capitalized on addressing these things that, you know, and I just see them continue year after year, and it's a little disturbing, you know what I mean?
What would you say if one of your family members, I won't say who, but if you came to them with that and they said, hey, don't judge me. They feel like you're judging them.
Yeah, no, it's actually been the case.
Is that valid? I mean, or
yeah, it's valid, and that's exactly what's happened in certain occasions, you know. But it's a hard thing to navigate, bro, because you got to understand people are only going to understand things that you tell them from their level of perspective.
Yeah.
Even though we see the same things, we don't see the same things.
You're right.
Because it depends on the level of perspective that you're looking at it from.
Where you come from, where you're raised, your habits, what you believe in, you know, all this stuff.
Things that you've experienced that have kind of shaped your way of looking at things, whether it be, you know, optimistic, pessimistic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a number of things. So, you know, I get it. And, you know, it's a great thing also that, yeah, I'm nobody to pass judgment on anybody else, because as far as I'm concerned, I got a lifetime of shit that I got to fix with me. So I haven't really got the energy, you know, for too many other people now. It's important that I say that, because I do have time for people that are invested in my spiritual evolving, you know what I mean? People that water me, I'd like to water them back, and, you know what I mean, show them that type of, you know, support. But
that sounds provocative.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No.
It's okay.
There it is again.
There it is again, bro.
All right. Well, you know.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? But anyway,
the new iPhone's coming out. Don't worry. I got a new one, bro.
No, but I just think that people look. What you're doing isn't wrong, or you have the right intentions. But I mean, people will always come at you and say, "Hey, why are you judging me? Who are you to tell me this?"
Yeah.
But you know, again, they don't realize from their point of view that it's a different perspective that you have.
And better than anybody, I know I'm not anybody to pass judgment on anybody with the blotchy past that I've had. You know, you're aware of it. You know, not a lot of people are, but
blotchy.
You know what I mean? It hasn't been. You know, I haven't been a saint all this time, bro. You know, I'm barely starting to figure shit out, and you know, it's been a couple of years of me swallowing some hard truths about myself, and you know what I mean? Maybe I'm not this fucking great fucking person that I always convinced myself I was, and you know, I'm kind of a piece of shit, and I'm continuing to work on myself, but you know, that's it.
Yeah. That's
it. Just the realization and the acceptance, bro. Again, going back to another episode that we did, you can't change it till you own it, right?
Yeah.
You can't change your bullshit until you own it.
Owning it is by far the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because it sucks and no one wants to do it, and you know, people would rather do anything than that.
And how much easier is it just to blame everything and everybody else?
Yeah.
How much easier is that?
Like putting on your socks.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, blames old Azazel, bro. Every fucked up thing that goes wrong in somebody's life is fucking Satan, bro. Everything. Everything. That guy is such a fucking cop out for humankind. It's sad, bro. It's sad, bro. The only devil I know is the one that I see in the mirror every day, bro. You know what I mean? That's all I know. But it's a nice cop out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, it's people take advantage of that for sure. You know.
Yeah, more than you know. Not just that. It's just people. I don't know. You're right. It's a cop out. They resort to certain things, and they probably know they're wrong, but they use that to justify their actions and what they're saying. And when these things happen, and you're realizing who you are, or just something you don't like, and there's something you feel like you should say, things are gonna happen that you're probably not gonna be too proud of, or you're gonna regret some of that stuff. But the bottom line is, coming to the truth and the realization that, what, hey, this is who I am, but guess what? I'm doing something to fix it. I'm doing something about it.
Yeah.
So.
And just to touch a little bit more on that, it's like I didn't feel guilty that I spoke out and, I said what I said, but I'm not accustomed to that. So it feels a little foreign to me. It's like I you know what I mean? I was uneasy about it at first because it's foreign to me. I'm not used to speaking out, especially to my mom, because I love her.
Yes.
That's my mother, bro. She's an angel to me, bro. You know what I mean? I always say I was raised by an angel, and the devil is my dad. And so what I mean. I got a little bit of both in me. You know what I mean? But it was just one of those things where I just feel like if I need to say something, and if I don't say it, it's gonna start conflict within me. I just don't want to have that anymore, bro. You know how much conflict I've had throughout my life, and which has led me to make bad decisions. Which has led me to make bad decisions. So I'm just trying to clear that out as fast as I possibly can. And, I'm doing the work. I'm trying to educate myself, you know what I mean? Reading a lot of books on psychology and spirituality and that type of stuff. I mean, you need to do the work. We have amazing potential to be anything that we want to be and transform ourselves to anything that we can think we can become, but it's got to be very intentional. It takes a lot of work and a lot of intention. Like I said, this is how it looks. You take 2-3 steps forward. Sometimes you take 4 or 5 steps back. It's never going to be forward all the time,
Yeah, it's true.
And sometimes people get discouraged, when they take those steps back.
It's easy, yeah. It's easy to get discouraged. And like you said, reading and educating yourself and doing different things, people will, they'll overload or overwhelm themselves. Oh, that's too much. I don't have time to read. I don't have time to do this. I got way too much stuff going on.
Right.
But people need to step back. Again, that perspective is you just simplify everything. All of that is as simple as just changing your mindset and just simply changing the way you think.
Yeah.
You're shedding all these family traditions and all these things that went on just for the sake of going, of just happening, and nobody really asks why. Nobody really even knows why. And when you do that, you're evolving and you're becoming the black sheep.
Yeah, it's just indoctrination that's been passed down generation after generation.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah,
and people on top bank on us continuing to believe in all this shit. Everything is idealism. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything is idealism. No one's born a Christian. No one's born a Catholic. No one's born a Jehovah's Witness. No one's born that. These are things that we adopt as we go on.
Yeah.
And it's like, everybody wants to have a tribe, So, you buckle down with a tribe and whatever makes more sense. And listen, I don't care how you get it, as long as you get it.
Yeah.
There's some people that I know that, are Catholic and Christian and Jehovah's Witness, and they're doing great. Like they've actually followed the word, and you know what I mean. They walk like different people, and they've made changes, and I think that's impressive. You know what I mean? It's admirable.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't. That didn't work for me. So now I'm pursuing other things that might work for me.
Wow.
It's like, the Atkins diet didn't work, so you try something else. Now you're on keto, man. I'm on spiritual keto.
Yeah, I haven't really done much of a whole lot of that, but I'm still sketching my nightmares.
Oh, you're not alone, bro. You're in good company. There's a lot of people that haven't started down that road yet, but you know what I mean. Like I'm at least glad that you're able to see some changes in me. You're probably one of my closest friends, you know, and so I'm glad that you've been able to see that there's been some changes that I've made. You know, I'm still not perfect. I'm far from it. I don't think I'll ever reach that. Perfect doesn't exist.
It doesn't. Yeah, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
So don't even try to reach it.
Yeah.
Do the best you can, and that's it.
Yeah.
Walk away, or you know, at the end of the day, or at the end of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, if you feel like you gave it your all and did your absolute best, that's all there is.
Yeah.
There's way more important other things going on.
But even that's a fine line to walk too. You know what I mean? Because you know you want to make sure you don't get stuck in that trap. Like, oh, you're good enough the way you are. Like, no, fuck no.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough the way I am. I know that for a fact that I'm not good enough the way I am. But you know, I'm gonna have a little a little sympathy for me. I'm gonna have a little compassion for myself and understand that it's gonna be a struggle. You know, I gotta unfuck 40 years of life that I fucked up. You know.
Wow.
And it's a struggle, bro. But you know, you surround yourself around the right people on a similar path, bro. It gets a lot easier because you're not by yourself anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, people that you surround with start talking like you, and they have, you know, they want to fix all the childhood trauma, or you know, all the family trauma that's been passed down from generation to generation. You know, and just once you meet your little, you know, soul group, bro, it gets a little easier. You know.
Yeah.
It gets a little easier, man. But anyways, let me get back to this little list here, bro, because I find it amazing, bro. The next one talks about taking responsibility for healing your traumas, and have actively begun therapy or healing work. You know, it's what we were just discussing now. You know, there's no better teacher than yourself. Who knows you better?
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows you better, bro?
Exactly. Man, I don't even know where to start. Well, when my divorce, my separation first started, I didn't know what to do with myself. Yeah, I was down for a little bit, but I just started running every day.
Yeah.
I started running every day. I was working out. I was eating right. I got on a regimen and did things to keep myself busy, but in a positive, all positive form. I was doing things to better myself, and I said, I need to start doing something for myself.
But not always, and it didn't start like that.
No.
It started completely different.
Oh, it was bad.
It was bad.
Are you kidding me? I was nose in the dirt, man.
It was bad.
I was done.
Yeah, no, I remember, bro. It was bad, and so I know you've strained out, but that's it, bro. That's the work. That's the work.
I look back at that, and still, I'm just like, how did I get through that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's safe to say that both me and you shouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
And we're still here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like there's a saying that Mother Teresa used to say.
What is that?
I know God will never give me more than I can handle, but I just wish that He didn't trust me so much.
Is that trust? Damn.
I mean, hey, half the shit that I've been through, bro. I feel like I shouldn't be here anymore, but here I am, bro. Still alive, still kicking. You know what I mean? Still making noise. Pissing some people off for telling them their truths. And I'm gonna continue to do that, man. And I'm gonna continue to hold myself accountable at the same time. I'm not just pointing fingers at people trying to make them feel like they're fucking up and I'm not. Like, no, we're all on this journey together.
Yeah.
And all I could do at the end of the day is want them to want to change, because I could be supportive with every friend of mine, every family member of mine, but if they don't want to change themselves. It doesn't matter how much support they have. It doesn't matter how much support.
Yeah.
They need to be sick and tired of certain things in their fucking life. And they need to feel like they deserve better. If they don't feel that, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's not until you're fucking sick and tired of your circumstances that the change will come. If you're not sick and tired, you're going to just continue to live there.
Yeah, and you just get up one day and it happens. Like, that's what happened to me. I got up one day and I just said, shit, I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
No matter how bad things were, everything was falling apart, and I just maintained and just stayed on the path and just did the best I could.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the whole time, like, oh my God, this is happening. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that. But damn, now I'm like, fuck, who cares? Like, yeah, I would have lost it. So I'm still here. I would have made it.
Yeah.
What the hell was I worried about so much?
That's important. That clarity that you're getting, and that clarity will expand eventually. But that's where I'm at. Half the shit that used to drive me crazy, nuts, like nothing really matters. It's this story we spin in our heads. That's it. That's where the frustration comes from. And having a level of expectations on how you think things should have turned out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Things turned out the way they turned out, and that's it. Relax. Nothing's under control. Nothing's under control.
Yeah.
You know, we could show up and, you know, try to do our best, you know, every single day, but nothing's under control, bro. Nothing's promised. I was almost, you know, gone a couple years back, and, you know, just nothing's promised, bro.
No.
You know, a friend of mine, or, you know, an acquaintance that lives here in Wilmington just had a heart attack and passed away the other day. 44 years old, like me and you.
Damn.
You know, I got 84-year-old parents, and they're still here. This 44-year-old guy our age is gone.
Damn.
Heart attack, just gone. From one moment to another. Nothing's promised, bro. We just don't know how long we're gonna be here. Just,
yeah.
You know, just enjoy it. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it, and try not to be a fucking burden to other people in the process of you living your life, and, you know what I mean, having your free will. That's all cool. Go nuts.
Yeah.
You know, go nuts. But, you know, just know there's gonna be consequences, and every moment and every decision that you make impregnates the next moment.
Impregnates.
And so you need to be aware of that. You need to be aware of that. You know, sometimes these things happen so subtle that you don't notice that you kept ignoring shit, and you kept going on with fuckery or shit that you just didn't want to realize that you needed to get a handle on, and before you know it, you're going half crazy.
Or riding that motorcycle where you're like, oh, nothing's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, from the littlest things, from, you know, stepping on that stair step that was always cracked or broken. Yeah, eventually you're gonna fall through it.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Remember, we had a conversation too. How I caught myself being very judgmental of, you know, old things that I used to do before.
That's right. Yeah.
And I was like, why am I even being judgmental towards that? You know what I mean? Like certain activities, like, you know, I'll give you, you know, without laying it out for everybody, you know, and get into detail about it. But, you know, like drinking was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Drinking was a big thing for me. But, you know, all those fucking drunk nights and all those fucking, you know what I mean, days of not sleeping and just fucking, you know, binging and partying, you know, it's
throwing up.
Yeah, it brought me to this.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have gone through all of that, I wouldn't have had the wisdom that I acquired from all that chaos. The chaos is what lands you on the wisdom, you know. But you got to go through the chaos. You got to go through the chaos. Chaos is beautiful, bro. When you're on the other end of it, it's beautiful. It turns into wisdom. You know, it doesn't seem that way, and, you know, most people aren't that optimistic when they're going through it. But the hardest things that we usually experience in life are the biggest determining factors of who we end up becoming.
Yeah, they begin to define you. They're those things that, you know, they shape you, they mold you, but it's not going to be fun.
No.
And we've said it plenty of times on the show. It's the thing that people want. They want the end result. They want that fast. They want it now, and people just gravitate towards that. You know, everyone wants to slip and slide and ice skate their way to the top, but you know, eventually you're gonna come back down to that.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen that way.
Exactly.
It's a hard road. The nicest people, some of the most, I mean, some of the most nicest and just very, very generous people that I know have gone through some, you know, pretty terrible things. I've lost friends. There's a bunch of stories.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, those things really brought them down to a level that they appreciate everything. They appreciate so much of what life offers that, you know, they stop and smell the roses.
Yeah.
You know, they're not just, you know, the interference of the world and everything that is going on. They stop everything and they take their time.
At my 44 years of age, bro, some of the most beautiful people that I've been lucky enough to meet have had some fucked up past. Fucked up. Bad. Bad. Like, I literally have nothing to complain about compared to other people.
Wow.
But they're the most beautiful fucking people, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Now that they're on the other end of it, you know, and they could have, no one would have blamed them for going another route, you know?
They learned. They
Yeah, but
passed that.
Some people get to the point where they start understanding the algorithm of how life is, bro. The algorithm is you're gonna suffer, but through that suffering, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Suffering is a good thing. All the best things come from it.
Yeah.
All the best things come from it. You have to be weak before you're strong. You know, you have to be slow before you're fast. You gotta be broke before you're rich. It's just part of it. You know, it's just part of it. Like, you're not gonna go fucking, you know, plant a fucking apple seeds out there and wake up in the morning expecting to fucking cut some apples to have for breakfast. It doesn't work that way, bro.
Just time, nurturing.
Everything has its seasons.
Yeah.
Everything has its seasons. And you know, you drive yourself crazy trying to compare yourself to every fucking body else. You gotta understand their season that they're having right now is not your season. You're in a completely different season in your life right now. Yeah. And one day they're gonna be where you're at if they haven't been there already, and that's just the way it is. But we drive ourselves crazy trying to keep up and, you know, keep up appearances and, you know, for what? For what? Who are we fooling? Who are we fooling? Relax.
Yeah.
Relax. Shit's already bad enough. You're just digging a fucking bigger hole for yourself trying to keep up appearances. Like, and if you were a well-rounded person, you wouldn't give a fuck what people think about you.
Yeah, it's true.
When you got you, you don't have to worry about people having you. You got you.
Yeah.
You got you.
Spending a lot of time.
You don't need to worry about people validating you because you validate yourself. You don't need to worry about people making you happy because you make yourself fucking happy.
You learn a lot about yourself spending that time with yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can definitely vouch for that.
Yeah. But it's just, you know what I mean? Like I said, bro, these are things that I'm passionate about. I like to talk about it. I like to come on here and, you know, sometimes talk about personal stuff that went on in my life, you know, because we're all very similar, bro. We're all very similar. And we've all been diagnosed with being human beings and being alive. And the only way out of that is death. You can't escape that, bro. There's no cure for it. You can't escape being a human being and being alive, bro. The only diagnosis is death. You know? And I don't just want to have a good life. I want to have a good death too, bro.
Yeah.
I want to have a good death too, bro. Not just a good life, but a good death.
On the battlefield?
Nah, bro. Just where I feel like I fucking, you know, I did my thing and,
yeah.
You know, I questioned things and I was inquisitive about things and I tried things that people told me were taboo and, you know, I figured it out on my own. I figured it out on my own. You know?
That's part of the journey.
That's part
Figuring
of the
it out on
journey.
your own and just doing what you know, you will enjoy yourself if you give yourself the freedom to go ahead and embark on something that, you know, isn't the norm. Go on and experiment with things. Learn. There's a lot more out there than you think.
Absolutely.
The simple things, the little things, and you know, lately, you know, me and my kids have enjoyed so many things that are so much fun. You know, outdoors, nature, and or just little things, whether it's gardening or whatever, and we have a blast.
Yeah. And
it's free and it's there in front of you. We have everything around us to do that.
Yeah.
But people just don't want to, just don't take the time. Other things are intriguing to them that are probably bad habits that probably get you in trouble, or they're just they're just not healthy.
Yeah.
You know, the way of thinking is just spending money, unnecessary things that, you know, culture and people think that, hey, you have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything.
No, not a goddamn thing.
No.
What we do need to do is sit our asses down from time to time and, you know what I mean? Quiet our mind and, you know, let that little voice inside of you that has no language tell you exactly what the fuck you gotta do.
Yeah.
You're not always gonna like what it tells you, but it's always gonna be right, you know?
Yeah.
Let me get back to the last couple things here on this list.
Go for it.
You respectfully call out, do not participate in dysfunctional familial patterns.
Mm.
You know, how many does that apply to?
Jeez.
How many people does that apply to, bro? Come on. You recognized that your parental figures were also carrying unsolved trauma from their childhoods.
Oh yeah.
You no longer enable dysfunctional behavior. You're practicing healthy boundaries with yourself and others, and you're practicing self-love, anchoring into your self-worth. You know, I read this. I told you what I was planning on talking about today, and these things line up.
Yeah.
These things line up.
Self-worth is, I've been hearing that a lot lately, whether it's been on TV, whether I hear people talk about it, or, you hear these words and you hear the same kind of words in every, I don't know, you hear them throughout the day or throughout the week, but they seem to become repetitive, but it has a meaning. There's no coincidence that you hear those things. There's signs to remind you of that. And whether you see people going through things or certain circumstances, you remember that. You remember that you were there at one time.
Yeah.
It's not a, it wasn't a great time, but you can appreciate things because of that. And you become aware of everything. You start to change. I think you told me one time, oh, you're starting to see things differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing, but it's so easily overlooked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier to overlook it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame anybody for it. It's easier. It's easier, but eventually this shit's gonna catch up to you, bro. And the more you put things off, the more work you're gonna have to do. And it's
the more angry you'll be, the
Yeah.
more unhappy you'll be, and then you're just gonna hate yourself and hate everything around you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I've met some people, and I didn't get a chance to know them, but man, in all the years I've worked, out in retail and sales, you just like, wow, do these people wake up upset? Like, Jesus,
Yeah.
it's just horrible, man.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, like, what can be happening in this guy's life that's so bad?
Yeah.
Like, really?
But even that is a beautiful perspective for you to have arrived at, because you got to understand, anything that you are confronted with coming from another individual has nothing to do with you. They're just projecting their own unsolved bullshit onto you. That's all that is. It has nothing to do with you. You just happen to be the motherfucker that caught their wrath that day. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so instead of you sitting there fucking, trying to make, belittle them or whatever the circumstances might have been, or that, that exchange of words, it's like you just gotta feel sorry for them and be like, fuck, man. I hope whatever you're going through, you work out, bro. You know what I mean?
I see these people just unleash, and I'm like, I'm just gonna eat my taco and leave.
Yeah, bro. It's like, people are just hell bent on making other fucking people miserable because they're miserable.
Yeah.
That's just it. Healthy people don't go around destroying fucking people, bro. Healthy people don't go around destroying other fucking people on a whim. Just because. There's something fucking wrong with these fucking people. That's why they're carrying themselves like this,
I used to like to do this on purpose just to get your reaction after the first time you did it, but I used to purposely have you on the phone when I was selling.
Oh, yeah.
And, to these independent accounts and
Right.
dealing with these owners, and you couldn't take it. Just listening to these guys, you're like, geez, I feel drained just listening to these guys. It's hilarious. Because I would just laugh at it, but it's just, some of that stuff is just, you can't believe, like, some things are actually going on out there. You just can't believe it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But this is how people want to live, and that's not how we want our listeners to live. We're trying to do everything we can for everyone, and
that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Well, Dave, look, we're about 44 minutes in, bro. We usually keep these things at 45, so
yeah.
I think it was smooth. I think I got my point across, and I was I was able to get that off my chest. So hopefully that's people find some pebbles of benefit in the words that we were able to share with them tonight, and we just we want to continue to do this for you guys and get better and understand that you're not by yourself and everybody's going through something.
Yeah, you don't know what it is, you don't know how or what, but everyone's got something going on.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of things that you don't hear very often, but it needs to be heard more. It needs to be said more. It does wonders. It does worlds, and we just want you to join us on this on this trip.
We understand everybody has comes from dysfunctional families,
Everyone.
except for Tim McCosker apparently. But everybody else besides Tim McCosker had a dysfunctional family.
Oh, I think that does.
And we just need to realize that.
That's a real man.
Yeah.
Jeez, I thought I was a real man when I bought a Craftsman tool set.
Oh,
This
man.
guy, no.
Yeah, but that was beautiful that he was able to share that family dynamic that he had growing up with him and the siblings.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's. I'm like, I didn't even know that was real anymore.
I know. I went home and punched myself. I said, "This is bullshit. Like, I can do that."
But
shout out to Tim.
Yeah, it just goes to show, you know what I mean, that he's he's a well-rounded man because he had a great upbringing. That's why he lived a life of service.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Upbringing.
Yeah. So
it's those kind of traits that that make the man.
Absolutely.
That make the man behind the candidate, and that's why he's on his way to ending the hysteria in the harbor area. Tim McCosker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, me and David signing out. This was a Neighbor Podcast, episode 23.
23? No.
23 or 24?
I don't know.
No, 24, I think.
I said that on purpose, just so you know.
Yeah. And we're labeling this episode Person Non Grata. Look it up.
What?
Person Non Grata.
Sounds like ice cream.
Nah, look it up.
Okay.
Educate yourself.
All right.
All right, folks. We're out of here.
Don't judge me.
You have a good night.
All right, everybody.